Namaskar, Missniecytv, and I'm here to do a review for Sistas Season 9, Episode 22. The episode starts off with all the girls and Maurice waking up from the night that they had before, and over at Andy's penthouse, Andy's mom makes her breakfast to cure her hangover. They have a conversation about what she did that night, and Andy's mom tells her that she had a fun night and her night was enlightening, and Andy's mom is like, so you had all that fun by going to Bible study with Aunt Myra? Andy's mom is like, yeah. Bible study was very enlightening and taught me. See where Andy gets lying to her friends about a man from. She gets it from her mom, because her mom was sitting there telling Andy that she was at Bible study, but her mom was at the bar with Mr. Keys. Andy tells her mom that she had fun and she felt free, and she's starting to realize that she can't live life with a whole bunch of drama and consuming it with work, because life is too short and she wants to live with no regrets. So her mom is like, Andy, I have something to tell you, the real reason that I'm here. And Andy's like, so that you can get in my business and get on my nerves? Andy's mom is like, yeah, that too, but the real reason I'm here is because I just got the scariest news from my life, that I've been diagnosed with stage 2 brain. He quickly tries to jump in to fix her mother. I'll get you the best doctor here, and if you don't come here, I'm going to Florida. Andy's mom is like, no, you're not. You're staying here and you're going to continue to work and live your life. Andy is like, so why didn't you just tell me sooner? Andy's mom is like, well, you've been working and you've been busy and I didn't want to bother you. Andy is basically like, you're not a bother, you could have definitely told me this. Andy's mom tries to reassure her that she's fine and that they caught her in time and she's gonna be alright. And Andy's like, so that's why you was falling out the other night? Valerie is like, yeah, I just didn't take my medicine. So Andy's mom asks Andy to pray with her, and they say the Lord's Prayer, and then as Andy's mom is praying, Andy's breaking down, and I feel so bad for Andy, because Andy has never truly had a happy ending where something go well in her life. Every time you turn around, it's always drama or something drastic that happens to her or the people around her. Andy has never truly had a chance to be happy. Over at Sabrina's, we see her getting out of bed, trying to recover from her hangover, and she walks into her living room and she sees Rich laying on her couch. And she's like, what are you doing here? Rich reassures her that they didn't do anything, and he just helped her get home. Basically, after Zach told Rich that Sabrina was at the gay bar throwing up and stuff, he went over to the gay bar to check on her. Rich verbatimly said that Sabrina said to him, Rich, I miss you, can you take me home? So that's exactly what he did, and he just slept on the couch. Some time passes, and they wind up having a conversation, because Rich asked, could he talk to her? He's basically like, I know that the whole Penelope thing messed up stuff for us, but let's be honest, we had issues before that. Which is like, I basically understand if you don't want to see or talk to me ever again, just know that I really care about you, Sabrina, basically. So, after the end of their conversation, Sabrina tells him to wait, and she gives him the longest hug ever. It's basically like, I'm going to fall back and I'm not going to push you no more. Knowing what I know, I just hope that Rich savored that hug and cherished that hug. Over at Danny's, it's a whole bunch of mess. So basically, Danny wakes up from her hangover. She realizes that Officer Green is there, and she's basically like, so what are you doing here? Officer Green is like, so you don't remember you basically dragging me in the house and throwing me on the bed? Danny's like, I don't remember none of that. He's basically like, well, we went 6 rounds and everything else, and now she's trying to tell this man to get out of her house. Tony opens the door with his key, and I still don't understand how he got a key after Danny told him to give it back, but alright. So he comes in the house, he sees Officer Green, he's basically like, what is this? He's like, so you cheated on me and all this other stuff. Danny's trying to sit there and explain. After Officer Green and Tony have an exchange of words, they get to fighting, and I'm like, how is Officer Green an officer if he can't even fight for real? The way that Tony was throwing him around through that house, Danny's trying to honestly get him to stop, so he eventually stops, and Danny's trying to sit there and explain herself after she kicks Officer Green out, and Danny's like, let me explain, Tony, let me explain. He's like, stop calling my name, and don't even call my phone anymore. He's like, how could you do this? This is unforgivable. Tony, you did a lot of things that were unforgivable too. You stole $10,000 from Danny to pay off her gambling debt. Even though you gave it back to her, it still doesn't make it right. But to be fair and to be honest, I don't even know why y'all still think that y'all together. You stole $10,000 from you, and you still calling him your boyfriend. And she kicked you out and with all your stuff, and you still calling her your girlfriend and thinking that y'all together. What kind of relationship is this? I don't know. I guess they both have to hear the words, I'm done and I don't want to be with you anymore, to realize that the relationship is actually over. They just can't take the hint. Over at Zach and Fatima's, we see Fatima outside on her balcony, and that's when Mr. Keys walks up and he gets on the phone, and whoever he's talking to is basically like, he needed to tell Zach what's going on. And Mr. Keys is like, I can't tell him today. Today is not the right time. It's a happy occasion, basically. And he's like, Zach is my only son. I think we already knew this moment that Mr. Keys stepped on the scene and tried to say that he was his dad's best friend and they used to hang out together back in the day. Like I said in my trailer breakdown for this episode, Mr. Keys did a lot more harm than he did good by thinking that it was okay to lie to Zach. One thing that Zach doesn't deal well with is liars. And knowing that you sit up there and lie to him, making up some fake story about his dad, knowing that you're really his dad, is not going well for you. And no, I don't think Fatima should be the one to tell Zach that Mr. Keys is his father. I think that Mr. Keys and Zach should really have a sit-down conversation and go over everything. Even though Zach is definitely not going to be receptive to anything that Mr. Keys is saying, I think they should really have that conversation. Over at Karen's, we see Karen and Aaron packing up the house, and Aaron asks Karen if she's going to miss this place, and Karen immediately says no. Aaron, I understand that you were trying to be sentimental and everything, but why would you miss a place that held so much drama and so much pain in it and so many bad memories? They're talking, they get a knock on the door, and it's Miss Lisa, and she's in her work uniform. And she basically tells them that she got stationed 45 minutes out of Seattle, so she's going to be near them. And Karen's like, so this means we got a babysitter, right? Miss Lisa's basically like, yeah, I'll help in any way that I can. So Karen basically gives her the slip of what she needs to give to the movers tomorrow. And Miss Lisa leaves, and Aaron's like, I'm going to go get in the car so we can get ready to leave to go to the cookout, right? So as Aaron leaves, Karen's just sitting there and she's reflecting on everything that happened in the apartment. And she basically has her I'm leaving the show exit, where she looks around the apartment and then she slowly walks out the door and closes the door behind her. Yeah, that's what she did. And I'm like, if this is Ebony's way of signing off the show. Ebony herself did a very great job of playing the role of Karen. Even though I didn't like Karen's character sometimes, Ebony did a very great job. Back over at Zach and Fatima's, Maurice and Dylan are the first ones to make it there. And of course, Dylan has said that he's been invited to the cookout. And Maurice is like, no, he's been invited to a cookout. There's a difference. Then they have some banter about that. Maurice tells him about the black card. Dylan's like, what is a black card? Maurice is like, I'll explain it to you later. That's when Pam rolls up, and her and Maurice have some banter, and they eventually go inside, right? So in the backyard, Mr. Keys and Zach are on the grill. They're sitting there talking. Zach is like, who invited the white boy? Mr. Keys is basically like, if he plays spades, we're pairing him up with Rich. So that's when Fatima walks over, and she introduces herself to Mr. Keys. Mr. Keys is like, I've heard so much about you, and congratulations on the little one. That's when Fatima starts questioning Mr. Keys. She's basically like, how do you know Zach's daddy? You must have known about Zach for a while now. She's like, you must also know Zach's mom. Mr. Keys is like, well, me and Zach's dad ran in the same circles for a while. Mr. Keys is like, yeah, I know Zach's mom. And that's when Zach realizes where this conversation's about to go, so he stops it. And he's like, you know, my family tries to bring me down, and today is a good day, and I don't want to deal with that. So Mr. Keys walks away after Zach asked him to go get him a beer. He tells Fatima, we're not doing this today. It's a good day outside. I'm trying to be happy and enjoy the people and all the love. You can worry about your suspicions later. Fatima's like, okay, I understand, but I really don't trust him. And to be honest, Fatima has the right to feel that way after everything and everybody that's coming to their circle and did them wrong. Aaron and Karen arrive, and they asked where the girls are. Inside of Zach and Fatima's house, Danny rolls up, and she gets a call from Sabrina. And Sabrina is basically telling her that she wants Rich back, and she missed him. And she never really stopped caring about him. And Danny cuts her off, and she's like, Sabrina, I can't do this today. Danny, you're going to really regret not staying on the phone with Sabrina, all because you're in your feelings about somebody that you're not even supposed to be with anymore. So Danny goes inside, and she winds up having a conversation with Fatima, and Fatima notices as Danny's talking that something's wrong with her. And Fatima's like, this doesn't have to do anything with Officer Green, does it? Danny's like, yeah. Tony basically called us, and now I feel bad and all this other stuff. Fatima's like, let it blow over and you two can talk like adults. Fatima, that's very mature of you to say, because do you realize how long it took for you to talk to Zach after you thought that he would cheat on you and he didn't cheat on you at all? So we see Sabrina and she's on the phone with Paige because Paige calls her to let her know that she lost her keys and she can't find them and there's about 10 customers there. And Sabrina's like, okay, I'm on my way. When Sabrina gets off the phone with Paige, as Sabrina's going straight, a car rams into her from the side and it looks like Sabrina is not going to make it out alive. The car flips over, it starts catching on fire and everything. That's why I was like, Danny and Rich need to cherish these moments with Sabrina because they didn't realize that it might be their last moment. So Andy and her mom finally arrive and Andy's mom goes to Karen. She greets Karen and says that she's very happy to see her and the baby and she's very proud that she made it through and she passes her a Bible verse and then she goes to Fatima and she's like, I'm happy that the both of y'all fixed y'all working relationship. And Fatima's like, me too. And if you're hungry, there's a lot of food over there. That's when Mr. Keys walks in. Miss Valerie brightens up like she's so happy to see this man. Andy's like, how do these two know each other? Fatima's like, that's one of Zach's new friends that I don't trust. And Andy's like, if you don't trust him, I don't trust him either. Andy tries to walk over there and stop the conversation, but Karen's like, no. Just tell me about your night. So Andy's like, my night was eventful. I definitely had a hangover. Danny's like, I don't want to talk about my night. Karen did ask where Sabrina was, and Danny's like, she's on her way. Yeah, Danny, she's on her way all right. She's on her way to glory. Outside, we have Rich and Zach talking, and Zach is like, so what happened? Basically, what happened when he took Sabrina home? Rich is like, nothing. I got her home. The next morning, we had a conversation and told her that I was going to fall back and not press her anymore. She's like, I feel like she would want to talk about it more when we got here. Zach is like, no, don't do that. Don't bring down the mood and let her just do it. It should be okay, but don't do it here. Rich is like, okay, but where's your bathroom? So Rich goes to use the bathroom and he comes back downstairs and he has a conversation with Danny. Rich is basically like, I know everything that happened. I just want to know if I could come over and get Tony's bag. You left it there. Rich is like, Tony's really heard about this. He really cared about you. And Rich is like, it seems like we have a lot more in common than you think. Danny is like, we are definitely not the same. When I got caught cheating, the person was laying next to me. When you got caught cheating, you were still inside the person, inside of a restaurant. Outside, Valerie and Mr. Keys sit there and have a conversation. And she's basically like, we had so much fun last night, but don't tell Andy. I told her that I was at Bible study. John is like, my lips are sealed. I won't tell her nothing. That's when Andy walks up and she's basically like, who's this? And Valerie is like, stay out of grown people's business. And Andy's like, I am grown. Valerie is like, not more growner than me. Andy doesn't know what to say. So Valerie asks Mr. Keys to go get her a drink, and that's when Andy pulls her mom to the side, like, you shouldn't be drinking. You never really cared about drinking this much. You shouldn't really be drinking because of cancer and everything. Valerie's like, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go out happy. Just to get on Andy's nerves, Andy's mom asked for a tequila on the rocks from Mr. Keys, and that's when Andy's mom walks away, and that's when Andy gets a text on her phone, and she just looking, she's staring like she's surprised or worried about it. Back on the inside, Karen calls Sabrina to see where she's at because she's about to leave, and of course she wants to tell Sabrina bye before she leaves, but Sabrina doesn't answer. Oh, Maurice definitely asked about Sabrina and where she was, too. Outside, it's time for Karen and Aaron to leave. Everybody's saying their goodbyes and saying how much they're going to miss each other, and they give each other hugs, and there's a couple tears, and everybody has a group. Karen and Aaron officially leave, and that's when everybody else is still standing outside, and they're talking, and Danny starts talking about her night, and Andy's like, I hope this doesn't have to do anything with Officer Green, and Andy tries to tell Danny about Officer Green, but she doesn't want to hear it, because everything that's going on with Tony. They're like, are we still going to visit Karen? And Danny's like, you might, but I can't fly free anymore. Andy's like, it's okay, I got you. So as they're talking, Andy's car alarm goes off. She goes over to check her car to see what's wrong. So when she walks over there, there's a big explosion and the car catches on fire. Unfortunately, a lot of things have happened in this season finale that are very sad or very tragic. But once again, I do want to thank Ebony for the way that she played Karen for all these years. She's done a phenomenal job, and I wish her the best in everything that she does. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Bye!